Good morning, student. We are start the chapter third pair of linear equation in two variable. It's exercise 3.2. The second question is while comparing the ratio A1 upon A2, B1 upon B2, C1 upon C2. Check above the following equations are intersect, parallel or coincide. And in the beginning of the chapter, we discussed all the points where the lines are parallel, intersecting or coincide. So first of all, we want to find these three ratios because A1 upon A2 is equal to 5.7, B1 upon B2 is equal to minus 4 upon 6. And these two equations are comparing with the standard form. And these standard form is A1x plus B1y plus C1 equal to 0 and A2x plus B2y plus C2 is equal to 0. Therefore, we observe this is A1 and this is A2. So A1 upon A2 5.7 and this is B1, this is B2 and B1 upon B2 is minus 4.6 and after solving which is equal to minus 2 by 3 and we see here A1 upon A2 is never equal to B1 upon B2. A1 upon A2 is never equal to B1 upon B2 and in case when A1 upon A2 is never equal to B1 upon B2, then we have no need to find C1 upon C2. C1 upon C2 is found only in that case when A1 upon A2 is equal to B1 upon B2. So here we see A1 upon A2 is never equal to B1 upon B2. Therefore, the lines are intersect. Therefore, the lines are intersect because we know when A1 upon A2 is never equal to B1 upon B2, the lines are intersect. And when A1 upon A2 equal to B1 upon B2 is never equal to C1 upon C2, then lines are parallel. And when A1 upon A2 equal to B1 upon B2 equal to C1 upon C2, then the lines are coincide. So here A1 upon A2 is never equal to B1 upon B2, so lines are intersect. Now we see the second part of this question. Again A1 upon A2 is equal to 9 upon 18 and that will be 1 by 2. B1 upon B2 which is equal to 3 by 6 which is also 1 by 2. So here we see 1 by 2 equal to 1 by 2 means A1 upon A2 equal to B1 upon B2. So there we have need to find C1 upon C2. So C1 upon C2 12 upon 24 and which is also equal to 1 by 2. So we see all the ratios are equal and we know when A1 upon A2 equal to B1 upon B2 equal to C1 upon C2, then the lines are coincide. So we can say that here the system of given equation has infinite many solutions and these two lines are coincide. Next, in third question, A1 upon A2, this is 6.2, that is 3. B1 upon B2, this is minus 3 upon minus 1, which is also equal to 3. So we find C1 upon C2 and this is 10 upon 9. And here we check A1 upon A2 equal to B1 upon B2 is never equal to C1 upon C2. So in this condition, when first two ratios are equal and thirds are not equal, then the system of given equation has no solution and where lines are parallel. So here lines are parallel. So this question is completed. Now third question. Using same question in this fact, using the ratio A1 upon A2, comma B1 upon B2, comma C1 upon C2. Discuss the given lines are consistent or inconsistent. Consistent or inconsistent. Inconsistent, and we know when the system of given equation has any solution which is either unique solution or infinite many solution, then it is said to be consistent. And when it has no solution, then it is said to be inconsistent. In simple word, we can say that the system of given equation has inconsistent if and only when it has a no solution. Otherwise means when it has unique solution or when it has a infinite many solution, then which is said to be consistent. So in this question, we check the system of given equation is consistent or inconsistent, and that depends only the ratio of the coefficients, because a1 upon a2 which is equal to 3 by 2, v1 upon v2 which is equal to 2 by 3, and we check here a1 upon a2 is never equal to v1 upon v2. a1 upon a2 is never equal to v1 upon v2. So the system of given equation has a unique solution, and in case of unique solution we are said to be which is consistent. So here the system of given equation is consistent. Now we solve it second part. a1 upon a2, this is 3 by 2 divided by 9, which is equal to 3 by 2. Now we see this is the main dividing, and we know that main dividing is changed by multiply, then denominator is interchanged. Then denominator is taken in reciprocal. So which is 1 by 9. So this is equal to 1 by 6, and v1 upon v2, this is 5 upon 3 upon minus 10. This is also calculated. This is 5 by 3, and this is main dividing, and when main dividing is changes by multiply, then the term which is in denominator of main dividing must be changed in reciprocal. So which is equal to minus 1 by 6, and we see here a1 upon a2 is never equal to b1 upon b2, because a1 upon a2 is 1 by 6 and b1 upon b2 is minus 1 by 6. So here also the system of given equation has a unique solution, so which is also consistent, because when a system of given equation has unique solution or infinite many solution, then it is said to be consistent, and when it has no solution, then it is said to be inconsistent. Now again in third part, a1 upon a2, 4 upon 3 divided by 2, so which is equal to 4 by 6, and after solving 1 by 2. Again v1 upon v2, this is 2 by 3, and we check here also, we check here also a1 upon a2 is never equal to v1 upon v2. So here also the system of given equation has unique solution, and which is also consistent. Now its fifth question is, half the perimeter of a rectangular garden whose length is 4 meter more than its width is 36 meter, find the dimensions of the garden. In this question we have given half the perimeter of a rectangular garden. We have a rectangular garden, and we know about rectangles. Any quadrilateral in which all angles 90 degree and opposite sides are equal is said to be rectangles. And here it is given that half the perimeter of a rectangular garden. That is means in the rectangular garden, the half of its perimeter, when its length, whose length is 4 meter, then its width is 36 meter. Its half of its perimeter is 36, and it is given that length is 4 meter, then its width. So suppose the width of a rectangular garden is x meter, therefore length must be x plus 4 meter, because it is given whose length is 4 meter more than its width. So when we assume the width of the rectangular garden is x meter, then its length must be x plus 4 meter. Therefore, according to condition. Now here conditions is given half the perimeter of a rectangular garden, and we know the perimeter of rectangular garden is 2 times length plus breadth. So half means 2 times length plus breadth, x plus 4 plus n. This is perimeter of rectangle and its half. Half of perimeter of rectangle is equal to 36. Now by solving we get x plus x2x plus 4 is equal to 36. This implies 2x is equal to 32. This implies x equal to 16 meter. And questions is given find the dimensions of the garden. Dimensions means find the length and width of the garden. Therefore, length of garden is equal to x plus 4 and value of x is 16 plus 4 which is equal to 20 meter. And width of garden equal to x, and x is 16 meters. So we can say that the length of garden is 20 meter and width of the garden is 16 meter. These are the required dimensions of a rectangular garden. Now its sixth question is write the equation which is intersecting these lines, parallel to these lines and coincide to these lines. First intersecting and secondly is parallel and third is coincide. Write and first of all this is first part. Write an equation which is intersecting this line, and we know any line which is intersecting this line, the condition is applied a1 upon a2 is never equal to b1 upon b2. So we write here infinite types of line in which this condition is applied, but here only we write only one equation, and that is 3x plus 2y minus 16 is equal to 0. Now we check a1 upon a2 is equal to 2 upon 3 and b1 upon b2 is equal to 3 by 2. So we observe here a1 upon a2 is never equal to b1 upon b2. So which is a required line that is intersecting this line. Now second part, write an equation which is parallel to this line, and parallel to this line there are also infinite types of equations which are parallel to this line, because we know in the conditions of parallel a1 upon a2 equal to b1 upon b2 is never equal to c1 upon c2. So first two terms are equal and thirds are not equal. So we take multiplied with any terms, like we multiply y6, so this is 12x plus 18y and plus 20 equal to 0. We multiply any number only first two terms, because we write that equation which is parallel to this line, and in the condition of parallel we know first two ratios are equal and third ratio is not equal. So we check here 2 upon 12, a1 upon a2, that is 2 upon 12, this is 1 by 6, and b1 upon b2, this is 3 upon 18, and this is also 1 by 6, and c1 upon c2, which is equal to minus 8 upon 20, and this is minus 2 upon 5, and we see here a1 upon a2 equal to b1 upon b2 but never equal to c1 upon c2. So which is the required line that is parallel to this line. Next third part is write the equation which is coincide this line. and there are also infinite types of equations which are coincide to this line. We know when any two lines are coincide, then all the ratios are equal. All the ratios means a1 upon a2 equal to b1 upon b2 equal to c1 upon c2. So we obtain infinite types of equation by multiplying any number with its whole equation or by dividing any number with its whole equation. So we multiply by 3 simply. We get 6x plus 9y and minus 24 equal to 0. Now we check all the ratio. A1 upon A2, this is 2 by 6, that is 1 by 3. V1 upon V2, this is 3 upon 9, is also 1 by 2, 1 by 3. And third is C1 upon C2. C1 upon C2 minus 8 upon minus 24, and this will be also 1 by 3. And we observe here all the ratios are equal because A1 upon A2 is 1 by 3, B1 upon B2 is 1 by 3, C1 upon C2 is 1 by 3. So A1 upon A2 equal to B1 upon B2 equal to C1 upon C2. So we can say that this is required line which is coincide to this line. Now we will solve the last question of this exercise. Now the last question of this exercise is draw the graph of the equation x minus y plus 1 equal to 0 and 3x plus 2y minus 12 equal to 0. Determine the coordinate of the vertices of the triangle and formed by these line and the x-axis and shape the triangular region. In this question, we see that first of all we draw the graph of this equation, and after that when the equations of lines are intersecting with x-axis, then which make a triangle, and we find the vertices of triangle as well as the shaded region must be noted out here. So first of all, this question we write the graph of the equation of line. So first equation is x minus y plus 1 equal to 0, and the second equation is 3x plus 2y minus 12 equal to 0. This is equation number 2. And first of all we made the graph of line 1, and then second we made the graph of line second. So first of all, this is the easy method to find the graph of any straight line. The first is x minus y plus 1 equal to 0. So we put first x equal to 0, then find the value of y, and then y equal to 0, find the value of x. So that in line 1. This is the simplest method to obtain the graph of any linear equation in two variables. First put x equal to 0, then find the correspondence value of y, and then put y equal to 0, then find correspondence value of x. And we when we have 2 points, then we draw it and find any graph of the straight line. So in line first, when x equal to 0, therefore 0 minus y plus 1 equal to 0. Therefore y equal to 1. So first point is said to be A, and this point is 0 and 1, because in any point the first point is always value of x and the second point is always value of y. Now when y equal to 0, therefore x minus 0 plus 1 equal to 0. So x equal to minus 1. So the second point is minus 1, 0. Now we want to find the point of line second. So in line second, put x equal to 0 when x equal to 0. Therefore 0 plus 2y minus 12 equal to 0. So y equal to 6. And when y equal to 0, therefore 3x plus 0 minus 12 equal to 0. And we get x equal to 4. Therefore, the points on second line, this is said to be C point, and C point is 0, 6, and D point is 0, 4. Now we plot this point on the graph. The first point is 0, 1, 0, 1, and this point is here 0, 1, means x 0 and y 1, and we know in x-axis. In y-axis, x is always 0. So point 0, 1 is here, A point. And the next point is B. This is minus 1, 0, and x minus 1, y 0. And we know in an x-axis, y is always 0. So the second point B is minus 1, 0 here. So we meet these 2 points. We get a straight line such type. This is line 1. Now in line second, the first point is said to be 0, 6, and point 0, 6 is lying on y-axis because here x is 0, and we know in y-axis x is always 0. So this point is lies on y-axis, and this point is approximately here. This point is 0, 6, C point. This is 0, 6. And third point is 4, 0, x4 and y0, and this point is here 4, 0, x4 and y0. This point is D, and this point is D, that is 4, 0. Now we meet the point C and D. We get the equation of straight line of second line, and now it is also given find the vertices and also shaded the region y these two lines and x-axis, and the shaded region with these two lines and the x-axis is this much because this is first line, this is second line, and this is x-axis, and triangle which made by these two lines and the x-axis. This is a required triangle. Now we shaded its region. It is also given that find the vertices of the triangle. So one vertices is minus 1, 0, second vertices is 4, 0, and we observe the third vertices is y find out the point of intersection of the two lines, and we know the point of intersection of two lines is always find out by solving the given two lines. So by solving first and second we get y solving first and second. Y solving we multiply the first equation by 2 because we solve it by elimination method, and in elimination method we make the equal term of x or y. So here we make equal term of y. So multiplying this is by y and adding this much. So we solve it directly. Y solving first and second. 2 times first plus second we get, and we get this is 2 times first 2x minus 2y plus 2 and plus 3x plus 2y minus 12 equal to 0. So 2y and 2y are cancelled out. 2x plus 3x, this is 5x, and plus 2 minus 12, this is minus 10 equal to 0. So by solving we get x equal to 2. Now put x equal to 2 in any one of these two equations. So put x equal to in equation number 1. So when we put x equal to 1, then we obtain 2 minus y plus 1 equal to 0. Therefore 3 minus y equal to 0, so 3 equal to y. So we can say that the point of intersection of line first and second is 2 and 3. So vertices of these triangles are, first B point is -10, second D point is 40, and third is P point, and that is 2 and 3. Completing the exercise 3.2. Now we will start the exercise 3.3, and its first question is solve the following linear equation by substitution method. So means we solve these two equations by using substitution method, and we already discussed about substitution method, and we know in substitution method we find the value of x or y from any equation and then put in another equation. This is the method of to solve any two linear equation of two variable. So to find the value of x and y, we find the value of x from equation number 1. So from first, x is equal to 14 minus y, because x plus y is equal to 14. Therefore, x equal to 14 minus y. Now put x equal to 14 minus y in equation number first, and we suppose this is equation number third. Now put x equal to 14 minus y in equation number second. So 14 minus y is equal to 4. Therefore, 14 minus 2y is equal to 4. This implies minus 2y is equal to 4 minus 14, and 4 minus 14 minus 10. Minus and minus cancel out, and 2 5 are 10. Therefore, y equal to 5. Now put y to 5 in equation number third we get. Put y is equal to 5 in equation number third. Therefore, x is equal to 14 minus 5 is equal to 7. So we have x equal to 7 and y equal to 5. This is our final answer. Again, it's more example. The third part of this questions, solve these two equations also by substitution method. And the question is root 2x plus root 3y is equal to 0. And second equation is root 3x minus root 8y is equal to 0. Now, according to this method, we find x or y from any equation, then put in another equation. So, from first equation, we find x. From 1, root 2x is equal to minus root 3y. Therefore, this implies, therefore, x equal to minus root 3 upon root 2y. And this is set of equation number because root 2 will multiply by x. So when it in right hand side, then they must be in divided. So when root 2x equal to minus root 3y, then x equal to minus root 3 upon root 2y. Now put x equal to minus root 3 upon root 2y in equation number second, because we find x from equation 1, so we put in equation 2, and when we find from equation second, then we put in equation first. So we find here x from equation 1, so now we put in second. Put x in second. Therefore, root 3x, x is minus root 3 upon root 2 and minus root 8, y is equal to 0. This implies root 3 into root 3, that is minus 3. Minus 3 upon root 2 and minus root 8y. So this is with y. Its value is root 3 upon root 2 y. So this is minus 3 upon root 2 y minus root by 8y is equal to 0. Now we see y is common here. So taking y common, we get minus 3 upon root 2 and minus root 8. Y is equal to 0. Therefore, y is equal to, because all the term minus 3 upon root 2 minus root 8 is multiplied with y. So y equal to 0 upon minus 3 upon root 2 minus root 8. And we know when any term is divided by 0, then they must be equal to 0. So y equal to 0. Now put y equal to 0 in equation number 3rd. So x equal to minus root 3 upon root 2 multiplied by 0. And when any term is multiplied by 0, then they must be equal to 0. So we have x equal to 0 as well as y equal to 0. Now the second question of this exercise is solve 2x plus 3y is equal to 11 and 2x minus 4y is equal to minus 24 by substitution method. It is also given. And find m when y equal to mx plus 3. Means we solve these two first equation by substitution method, and also find m when y equal to mx plus 3. And in this question it is clear, when we solve first two equation, then we get the value of x and y, and when we put the value of x and y in the third equation, we obtain the value of m. So first of all, we solve given two equations. The first equation is, this is very important question and almost asking from board exams. This is 2x plus 3y is equal to 11. This is equation number 1, and 2x minus 4y is equal to minus 24. This is equation number 2. Okay, so we solve it by substitution method, and according to substitution method we know already, if we we find from equation 1 x or y, then put in equation number 2nd. So from first, 2x is equal to 11 minus 3y. Therefore x is equal to 11 minus 3y upon 2. Now we put x in equation number 2nd, and this is used as equation 3rd, or named as equation 3rd. So put x in equation number 2nd, we get. So this is 2x. X is 11 minus 3y upon 2. X is 11 minus 3y upon 2, and minus 4y is equal to minus 24. 2 and 2 is cancelled, and this is 11 minus 3y minus 4y is equal to minus 24. This implies 11 minus 7y minus 3y and minus 4y minus 7y. This is minus 24. So 11 plus 24 is equal to plus 7y. This implies 7y is equal to 35. So y equal to 5. Now put y equal to 5 in equation number 3rd. We obtain the value of x. So put y is equal to 5 in equation number 3rd. Therefore x is equal to 11 minus 3 into 5 upon 2, and 11 minus 15. This is minus 4 upon 2, and which is equal to minus 2. So by solving the first equation, we get x equal to minus 2 and y equal to 5. Now we want to find the value of m by putting the value of x and y in the equation y equal to mx plus 3. Now another equation is y equal to mx plus 3. Now put x and y put x is equal to minus 2 and y equal to 5 in this equation. So when we putting these two values in this equation, we get 5 is equal to m into minus 2 plus 3 is equal to plus 3. Sorry, 5 equal to m multiplied by minus 2 plus 3. Therefore, 5 is equal to minus 2m plus 3. This implies plus 2m minus 2m. Okay, then after opposite sign, then they must be changed in positive and 5 positive. And when it passes the another side, then they will be changed in negative side. So which is equal to minus 2. Now 2m equal to minus 2. Therefore m equal to minus 1. Now in the question third, we have given some linear problems, and these linear problem why convert a linear equation and then solve by substitution method. Its statement is given, because we see the statement in the following linear problem solved by substitution method. Some linear problems are given and these linear problems are solved by substitution method. And the first LP means linear problem is the difference between two numbers is 26. When one of them is 3 times the other, then find the number. The difference between two numbers is 26. When one of them is 3 times the other, then find the number. So to solve for this question, we suppose x and y are any two numbers. Suppose x and y are any two numbers. Now according to first condition, the difference between two numbers is 26. X minus y is equal to 26. And the second condition is one of them is 3 times the other, because we have two numbers x and y. So either x equal to 3 times y or y equal to 3 times x. So we take any one of, suppose x greater than y. Therefore x equal to 3y. And this is first condition. And x is equal to 3y, because we assume x is greater than y. When x is greater than y, then x is 3 times y. And when we assume y greater than x, then y equal to 3x. We take any one of these two and answer is always same. This is said to be equation number second. Now we solve equation first and second by substitution method, and according to substitution method we know we find the value of x and y adding one of these two equations and then put in another equation. So here x is already found out. So put x is equal to 3y in equation number 1. So 3y minus y is equal to 26. This implies 2y is equal to 26. Therefore y equal to 13. Now put y equal to 13 in equation number first or equation number 2 as always. Because when we put in first equation, then also we get same value of x by putting in equation number 2. So means we put y equal to 13 in any one of these two equations. So put y equal to 13 in equation second. We get easily to find the value of y. Therefore x equal to 3 times 13 and this is 39. So the required numbers are 13 and 39. So the required numbers are 13 and 39. So the second part of next question is the larger of two supplementary angles is exceed the smaller by 18, then find them. And we know what are the supplementary angles. Any two angles are said to be supplementary when their sum is 180. Same as complementary angle. We read already, complementary angles are that angle whose sum is 90 degree. But in this question, the given angles are supplementary, so its sum should be 180 degree. The larger of two supplementary angles exceed the smaller by 18, then find them. So to solve this question, suppose x and y are any two supplementary angles. Suppose x and y are any two supplementary angles. So therefore, when x and y are into supplementary angle, then it is sure x plus y equal to 180 degree. Now it is also given the larger of two supplementary angles is exceed the smaller by 80. Now in x and y, one should be larger. So x is greater than y or y is greater than x. We take one of any one. So we take x is greater than y. This is equation number 1. And when x is greater than y, then x is 18 more than y. Therefore, x is equal to y plus 18. Where we assume x greater than y also like its first part. And when we assume x greater than y, then x is larger than y is 18 degree. Now we solve these two equations. This is equation number 2. By solving these two equations, put value of x from equation 2 in equation 1. So solving first and second, or directly we can say that put x equal to y plus 18 degree in equation number 1. So we have y plus 18 degree plus y equal to 180 degree. This implies y plus by 2y is equal to 118 degree minus 18 degree. So which is equal to 162 degree. Therefore y. So y equal to 81 degree. Now put y any one of these two equations and we put in equation number 2. Put y is equal to 80 degree. 81 degree in equation number 2. Therefore, x equal to y plus 18 degree. Y plus 18 degree. So which is equal to 81 degree plus 18 degree. So that is 99 degree. So the required two angles are. So the required angles are 81 degree and 19 degree. 99 degree. These are the two angles which are supplementary, and one of them is 18 degree exceed the other. We check also its conditions. When we plus 81 degree plus 99 degree, we get 180, and we see 99 is more than 80 degree compared to 81 degree. So this is the required angles. Now its third part is the coach of a cricket team Y 6 bat and the coach of cricket team buys 7 bats and 6 balls for rupees 3,800. Later C buys 3 bats and 5 balls for rupees 1,750 rupees. Find the cost of each bat and each ball. So in this question, we suppose the cost of per bat is rupees x and the cost of per ball is rupees y. Suppose the left as your left cost of 1 bat. Let cost of 1 bat is equal to rupees x and cost of 1 ball. And cost of 1 ball is rupees y. Therefore, according to conditions. Now, according to condition, 7 bat and 6 ball. When the cost of 1 bat is rupees x, then the cost of 7 bat is rupees 7x. And when the cost of 1 ball is rupees y, then the cost of 6 ball is rupees 6y. And the combined cost of 7 bats and 6y is 7x plus 6y. And according to condition, this is equal to 3,800. This is equation number 1. And the secondly, also given later C buys 3 bats and 5 balls. When the cricket woman goes buys 3 bats and 5 balls for rupees 1750 rupees. So this is 6x and plus 5y is equal to 1750. This is equation number 2. Now we want to solve these two equations by using substitution method. So from equation number 1 or equation number 2, we get x or y and then put in another equation. Equation is 3x plus 5y equal to 1750. Now we solve these two equations by using substitution method. And for substitution method, we find the value of x or y from any one of these two equations and then put in the another equation. So 7x plus 6y is equal to 3800 and 3x plus 5y equal to 1715. We find x from equation 2. Therefore 3x is equal to 1750 minus 5y. This implies x is equal to 1750 minus 5y upon 3. And this is equation number 3. Now we put this value of x in equation number 1. So 7x 1750 minus 5y upon 3 plus 6y is equal to 3800. So here 3 is LCM and then by multiplying 7, this is 0 and 35, 3 is common. This is 49 and 3, 52 and 2, then 5 is remaining and 7, 5 are 12 and minus 35y and then plus 6, 3 the 18y is equal to 3800. So this is minus 35y and plus 18y. So this is additive 12,250 and minus 17y is equal to 3 by multiplying 0, 0, 8, 3 the 24, 2, 3, 3 the 9, 9 and 2, 11. So this is 1140. So 1200, 250 minus 11,400 is equal to 70y. So by solving, this is 0, this is 5 and here 12, 12, 8, this is 12, 0, 0, 12, 4, this is 8. So which is 850. 850 equal to 17y. Therefore y equal to 17, 5 the 85. Therefore y equal to 50. Y is equal to 50. Now put y equal to 50 in equation number 1 or in equation number 2. Put y equal to 50 in equation number in equation number 3. Therefore x is equal to 1750 minus 5 multiplied by 50 divided by 3 and which is equal to 1750 minus 250 upon 3 and this is equal to 0, 0 and 1500 upon 3 and this is equal to 500. So we get the value of x is 500 and the value of y is 50. So we can say that the value of cost. Therefore cost of each bat. Cost of each bat is equal to rupees x. And what is x here? This is rupees 500 and cost of each ball is equal to rupees by and y equal to 50. So cost of each ball is rupees 50. This is our final answer. Its four part is The taxi charges in a city consist of a fixed charge together with the charge for the distance covered. For a distance of 10 km, the charge paid rupees 105, and for a journey of 15 km, the charge paid is rupees 155. What are the taxi charges and charges per kilometer? Also, how much does a person have to pay for traveling at a distance of 25 km? In this statement, it is given a taxi charges in a city consists of a fixed charges in a city. The taxi has a fixed charge together with the charge for the distance or some distance covered. For a distance of 10 km, the charge paid rupees 105. So we suppose net fixed charge of taxi is equal to rupees tax and charge per kilometer is equal to rupees y. And in this question it is given taxi charge in a city consists of a fixed charge together with the charge for a distance covered. For a distance of 10 km, the charge paid rupees 105. So according to this condition, for a distance of 10 km, the charge is 105, and in this 10 km distance, the fixed charge is also included. So this statement can be converted in equation x plus 10 pi, because when the charge of per kilometer is y, then the charge of 10 km is 10 pi, and 10 pi plus fixed charge is equal to 105. And the next condition is, and for a journey of 15 km, and for a journey of 15 km, and we know the charge per kilometer is rupees by, then charge for 15 km is 15 by, and in the charge the fixed charge of taxi is included. Therefore, x plus 15 by is equal to 155. It is clear given in the statement. Where for a journey of 15 km, the charge paid by rupees 155. What are the taxi charge then? We want to find the fixed charge of a taxi and charge per kilometer. Means we want to find x and y. So by solving these two equations by using substitution method, this is said to be equation number 1, and this is said to be equation number 2. Now from first or second, we find the value of x or y. So from first x is equal to 155 minus 15y. This is said to be equation number 3rd. Now put this equation in number 2nd. So from 2nd, means we put x in equation number 2nd. We get 155 minus 15y. We find here, this is equation number 2nd, from 2nd. We find x from 2nd, so we put in equation number 1. Therefore, x means 155 minus 15y plus 10y is equal to 105. Now we solve it. Minus 15y plus 10y minus 5y, and 105 minus 155, we get 50, minus 50. So minus and minus cancel out. Therefore, y equal to 50 upon 5 is 10. Therefore, value is y is 10. Now put y equal to 10 in any one of these two equations. So put y equal to 10 in equation number 3rd. Therefore, x 155 minus 15 y is 10. So 155 minus 150 which is equal to 5. Therefore, the fixed charge of taxi is rupees 5 and charge per kilometer is rupees 10. Therefore, fixed charge is equal to rupees x, and here x is 5. So fixed charge is rupees 5 and fixed charge and charge per kilometer is equal to rupees y, and y is 10. Therefore, charge per kilometer is rupees 10. And again, how much does a person have to pay for traveling a distance of 25 kilometers? Means a person, what is the charge, what is the fare which a person pay the covered traveling the distance of 25 kilometers. Therefore, the charge pay by the person while traveling the distance of 25 kilometers is equal to x plus 25y, which is equal to 5 plus 25 into 10. This is equal to rupees 255. So when a person cover the distance of 25 kilometers, then he pay the charge by taxi driver is 255 rupees. Now the next question. Now the fifth part of this question is a fraction becomes 9/11 when 2 is added to both numerator and denominator, and when 3 is added both numerator and denominator, then it becomes 5/6. Then find the fraction. In this question we have given when in any fraction 2 is added both numerator as well as denominator, then it becomes 9/11, and when added 3 is numerator as well as denominator, then it becomes 5/6. Then find the fraction. So first of all, we suppose any fraction, and this can be taken in the form of a upon b, p upon q, c upon d, x upon d, anytime. So suppose fraction is equal to x upon y, and when we take the fraction is x upon y, then x is said to be numerator and y is said to be denominator. So according to conditions. And first condition is when we add to its numerator as well as denominator, then it becomes 9/11. Means this is numerator of fraction, and when we do add its numerator as well as denominator, then it becomes 9/11. And according to second condition, when 3 is added to its numerator as well as denominator, then it becomes 5/6. Means x plus 3 upon y plus 3 is equal to 5/6. These two equations, now y cross multiply, we get 11x plus 22 is equal to 9y plus 18. Because we want to convert these two equations in standard form, and its standard form is a1x plus b1y is equal to c1 and a2x plus b2y equal to c2. So y cross multiply 6x plus 18 is equal to 5y plus 15. This implies 11x minus 9y is equal to minus 4, and secondly 6x minus 5y is equal to 15 minus 18 minus 3. So this is said to be equation number 1, and this is said to be equation number 2. Now we solve these two equations by using substitution method. So from second 6x is equal to 5y minus 3. Therefore x equal to 5y minus 3 upon 6, and this is said to be equation number 3rd. And here we find x from equation number 2nd. So we put x in equation number first. Therefore, from first, 11x, x is 5y minus 3 upon 6 minus 9y is equal to minus 4. So 6 is LCM and this is 55y minus 33 and minus 54y is equal to minus 4. So y cross multiplying we get this is plus 1y minus 33 is equal to minus 36. Minus 30, no, something is wrong already. Sorry, minus 24. 6 for the minus 24. Therefore, y is equal to minus 24 plus 33 and this is 9. Now put y equal to 9 in equation number 3rd. Put y equal to 9 in equation number 3rd. Therefore, x is equal to 5 multiplied by 9 minus 3 upon 6. This is 45, 45 minus 3, 42 upon 6. We get 7. Therefore, the value of x is 7 and the value of y is 9. Therefore, required fraction. Therefore, required fraction is equal to x upon y. X means 7 upon y means 9. Therefore, required fraction is 7 upon 9. Now the sixth part of this question is 5 air hands. The meaning of hands is after. The meaning of hands is after. 5 air hands. The age of Jacob will be 3 times that age of his son. 5 years ago, Jacob was 7 times that of his son. What are their present ages? In this question, it is given that 5 years after, the age of Jacob will be 3 times the age of his son. So first of all, we suppose the present age of Jacob and his sons. So we take the present age of Jacob. The present age of Jacob is equal to x years and the present age of Jacob's sons. Jacob's sons is equal to y years. Here we assume the present age of Jacob is x year and the present age of Jacob's son is y years. Now according to first conditions. Therefore, according to conditions. And in this question we see according to first condition 5 years after. 5 year hence means 5 years after. And we see the 5 after 5 years the age of Jacob is x plus 5 because when the present age of Jacob is x year, then after 5 years the age of Jacob is x plus 5 means 5 is added the present age of Jacob. Therefore, after 5 years the age of Jacob is x plus 5 and the age of his son y plus 5. And according to condition 5 year hence the age of Jacob is 3 times the age of his son. And we see after 5 years the age of Jacob is x plus 5 and age of his son is also y plus 5. Because present age of Jacob's son is y, then after 5 years the age of Jacob's son is also y plus 5. Now according to condition the age of Jacob is 3 times the age of his son after 5 years. So x plus 5 is equal to 3 times y plus 5. And according to second condition, and then it is also given 5 years ago means previous, ago means previous. Ago means previous besides. So 5 years ago Jacob was 7 times that the age of his son. and 5 years previous when the present age of Jacob is X, then 7 years ago or previous 7 years, the age of Jacob is X minus 7 years, and the age of Jacob's son is also 7 years, and according to conditions, according to condition 5 sorry and 5 years ago 5 years ago the age of Jacob is X minus 5, and the age of his son is also Y minus 5, and 5 years ago the age of Jacob is X minus 5 years, and the age of his son Y minus 5 years, and the statement is given that before 5 years ago, the age of Jacob is 7 times the age of his son. Therefore, x minus 5 is equal to 7 times y minus 5. So, x plus 5 is equal to 3y plus 15. And second is x minus 5 is equal to 7y minus 35. This is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. This implies x minus 3y is equal to 15 minus 5 is equal to 10, and x minus 7y is equal to minus 35 plus 5 is equal to minus 30. This is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2 using substitution method. So according to rule, we get x from equation number 1. This is x equal to 10 plus 3y. This is said to be equation number 3. Now we find x from equation 1. So we put in equation number 2. Therefore put x equal to 10 plus 3y in equation number 2. So 10 plus 3y minus 7y is equal to minus 30. Therefore 3y minus 7y minus 4y is equal to minus 30 minus 10 minus 40 minus cancel out, and therefore y equal to 40 upon 4 and 40 upon 4 equal to 10. Therefore the value of y is 10. Now put y equal to 10 in any these three of equations. Therefore we put in third. Therefore x equal to 10 plus 3y, and this is equal to 10 plus 30. 10 plus 30 equal to 40. Therefore the present age of Jacob is 40 years and present age of his son is 10 years. Therefore present age of Jacob is equal to 40 years, and present age of Jacob's son is equal to 10 years. After completion the exercise of 3.3, now we will start the exercise 3.4, and its first question is solve the following linear problem y elimination methods. So first is 3x minus 5y minus 4 equal to 0, and second is 9x is equal to 2y plus 7. This is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. So first of all, we write these two equations in the standard form, and its standard form is 3x minus 5y is equal to 4, and second is 9x minus 2y is equal to 7. So this is said to be equation number 1 and this is said to be equation number 2. Now by elimination method we either make coefficient of x or coefficient of y are equal. So for this purpose we multiply the first equation by 3. Only 3 we get. This is 9x, because when we multiply the first equation by 3, then it is 9x and 9x and 9x are same term. Therefore, 9x minus 15y is equal to 12, and secondly same 9x minus 2y is equal to 7. Now y is subtractive. Subtractive means all the sign of second equation will be changed. This is minus because this is plus. Any term which has no sign is given must be a sign of a positive. So here negative, this is positive and this is negative. This is cancel, minus 15y and plus 2y minus 13y, and 12 minus 7 is equal to 5. Therefore y is equal to 5 upon minus 13, and it is said to be minus 5 upon 13. Now put y is equal to minus 15 upon 13 in any one of the two equations. Put y is equal to minus 5 upon 13 in equation number first. Therefore 3x minus 5y minus 5 upon 13 is equal to 4. This implies 3x. Here the LCM is 13. Therefore 39x and minus plus 25 is equal to 4. Therefore 39x plus 25 is equal to 52. This implies 39x is equal to 52 minus 25. This is 17. 27. This is 27. Then x equal to 27 upon 39. And this is cut y in the table of 3. 9 3 the 27, 13 3 the 39. Therefore x is, therefore we have x is equal to 9 upon 13 and y is equal to minus 5 upon 13. These are the required values of x as well as y. Now its d part is x upon 2 plus 2y upon 3 is equal to minus 1 and x minus y upon 3 is equal to 3. These two equations are also solved by elimination method. And when we solve any two equations by elimination method, then first of all we change these two equations in the standard form. So to change its standard form, first of all we solving these two equations. Because LCM of 2 and 3 is 6, therefore when 6 is divided by 2, then we get 3, and multiplying 3 by x, we get 3x. Similarly 6 by 3 is 2, and multiply 2 with 2y. This is 4y is equal to minus 1. And secondly, LCM is 3. This is 3x minus y is equal to 3. So this is 3x plus 4y is equal to minus 6. And secondly is 3x minus y. 3x minus y is equal to 9. Now we solve these two equations y easily, because the coefficient of x are already equal. So only by change the sign of second equation we get 3x and 3x are cancelled. 4y plus 1y, this is 5y, and minus 6 and minus 9, this is minus 15. So y is equal to minus 15 upon 5. Y is equal to minus 15 upon 5. And this is equal to minus 3. Now put y equal to minus 3 in any one of these two equations. Put y is equal to minus 3 in equation number first or in equation number second. So we put here in equation number first. In first. Therefore we have 3 times x and plus 4 times y. 4 times y is minus 3 is equal to minus 6. So this implies 3x minus 12 is equal to minus 6. This implies 3x is equal to minus 6 plus 12. This is 6. Therefore x equal to 2. So we have the value of x and y is additive. We have x equal to 2 and y equal to minus 3. So by solving these two equations, we get x equal to 2 and y equal to 3. Now its second question is, solve the following linear problem by using elimination method. We add 1 to the numerator and subtract 1 from the denominator. The fraction reduced to 1 means when we add 1 in the numerator of any fraction and subtract 1 in any denominator of the fraction, then it will changes to 1. And second condition is it becomes 1 by 2. If we only add 1 to the numerator, then find the fraction. So first of all, we let the fraction of this fraction. Let fraction will be equal to x upon y. Therefore, according to conditions, the first condition is when we add 1 to the numerator, means this is fraction and this is numerator and this is denominator. And when 1 add in the numerator and 1 subtract in the denominator, then fraction reduced to 1. Then this fraction is changes to 1. And the second condition, this fraction is also equal to 1 by 2 when we only add 1 in the denominator, means this is fraction x upon y, and when we adding 1 only in the denominator, then this fraction reduced to 1 by 2. Then find the fraction. Now first of all, we solve these two equations and convert in the standard form. So to convert the standard form, we cross multiply these two equations 1 by 1. So here x plus 1 is equal to y minus 1 and 2x is equal to y plus 1. Therefore x minus y is equal to minus 2. This is equation number 1. And secondly, 2x minus y is equal to 1. This is equation number 2. And in these two equations we see also we have no need to multiply any one of these two equations because the terms of y are same. So we change only their sign because minus y and minus y are of same sign. So we change the sign of the second term. This is minus, this is plus, and this is minus. So minus y and plus y is cut off, x and minus 2x. This is minus 1x, minus 2 and minus 1 equal to minus 3. When minus and minus is cancelled, therefore x equal to 3. Now we put x equal to 3 in any one of these two equations. So from first 3 minus y is equal to minus 2. Putting the value 3 in equation number 1. Therefore 3 minus y is equal to minus 2. This implies minus y is equal to minus 2 minus 3. Therefore y equal to 5. Minus y equal to minus 5 and then y equal to 5. Now the value of x is 3 and y equal to 5. Therefore required fraction. The required fraction is equal to 3 upon 5. Now the second part of second question is 5 years ago Nuri was twice as old as Sonu. 10 years later Nuri will be twice as old as Sonu. How old are Nuri and Sonu? In this question we see the 5 years ago. Ago means previous, before. 5 years before, Nuri was thrice as old as Sonu. Means 5 years ago, Nuri is 3 times the age of as Sonu. And after 10 years and 10 years later means after. And 10 years after, Nuri will be twice as old as Sonu. Means कि after 10 years, the age of Nuri is twice as the age of as Sonu. Then find the present age of Nuri as well as Sonu. So to solve this question, first of all, we suppose we take we let the present age of Nuri as well as Sonu. So let present age of Nuri. Let present age of Nuri is equal to x years and present age of Sonu, and present age of Sonu is y years. So according to conditions, therefore according to conditions, and the first condition is 5 years ago. Now when the present age of Nuri is x year, then 5 years ago the age of Nuri is x minus 5 years, and the age of Sonu is y minus 5 years, because 5 years ago means 5 years before. The age of Nuri is x minus 5 years, and the age of Sonu is y minus 5 years. And the question says 5 years ago Nuri was thrice as old as Sonu. Means the age of Nuri is 3 times the age of Sonu. Therefore x minus 5 is equal to 3 times y minus 5. And the second condition is 10 years later. Now we talk the ages after 10 years. Then after 10 years, the age of Nuri, when the present age is 10 years, then after 10 years, the age of Nuri is x plus 10 years, and the age of Sonu after 10 years is y plus 10. And according to condition, 10 years later, Nuri will be twice as old as Sonu. Means the age of Nuri is 2 times the age of Sonu. So this is the second condition. Now these are two equations, and first of all we get these two equations in standard form and then solve by elimination method. So this is x minus 5 is equal to 3y minus 15, and there is x minus 3y is equal to minus 10, and the second question is x plus 10 is equal to 2y plus 20. Therefore x minus 2y is equal to 10. This is equation number first, and this is equation number second. Now we solve it by elimination method. So this is one and this is second. X minus 2, we write the equation second in down of equation first, which is equal to plus 10. This is equation number second. Now we solve by elimination method, and we say here in this question the variable of x, the coefficient of x are same. So only by changing the sign of equation we cut the value of x, negative, positive, negative. So x and x is cancelled out. Minus 3y and plus 2y. This is minus y, minus 10 and minus 10, minus 20. Therefore y equal to 20. Now put y equal to 20 in any one of these two equations. So put y equal to 20 in equation number 1. So x minus 3 times 20 is equal to minus 10. Therefore x minus 60 is equal to minus 10. Therefore x equal to minus 10 plus 60, and minus 10 plus 60 which is equal to 50. So we can say that the age of Nuri is 50 years and the age of Sonu is 20 years. Therefore age of Nuri is equal to 50 years, because the age of Nuri is x year and the value of x is 50, and age of Sonu is equal to y years and the value of y is 20. Therefore age of Sonu is 20 years. So after solving this question we get the age of Nuri as well as Sonu is 50 and 20 here respectively. Now its third part is sum of digit of two-digit number is 9. Also 9 times this number is twice the number obtained by reversing the order of the digits. Find the number. In this question it is given the sum of digit of two-digit number is 9. So to find two-digit number, first of all we assume its unit-digit as well as its tens digits. So to solve this question, suppose unit digits. Suppose unit digits digit is equal to x and tens digits equal to y. Suppose the unit digit of two-digit number is x and tens digit of two-digit number is y. Therefore, two-digit number is two-digit number and two-digit number is 10 by plus x. And to find two-digit number, this is the easy method. The unit digit is multiplied by 1 because unit base is 1. So unit digit is multiplied by 1. When we multiply x into 1, then this is equal to 1x, and tens digit multiplied by 10. And when we multiply y with 10, then this is equal to 10 by. And then these two numbers to be added, we get the two-digit number. So the two-digit number is multiplying this, so x and tens digit multiplied by 10, 10 by. Then by adding these two numbers, we get required two-digit number is 10 by plus x. So we can say that when unit digit of two-digit number is x and tens digit of two-digit number is y, then two-digit number is always equal to 10 by plus x. Now according to conditions. The first condition is sum of digit of two-digit number is 9, and these are digits of this two-digit number. Therefore, x plus y is equal to 9. This is the first condition. And the second condition is also 9 times this number, means 9 times this number. This number is 10 by plus x. Also 9 times this number is twice the number obtained by reversing the order of the digits. And any number which is obtained by reversing the order of the digits. Reversing the order of the digits means we interchange the given number r, x and y. So this number is 10x plus y. And according to condition, 9 times of this number is equal to twice of that number which is obtained by reversing the order of the digit, this number. So we have 9 times 10 by plus x is equal to 2 times 10x plus y. Now we solve these two equations by elimination method, and to solve these equations by elimination method, first of all we convert these two equations in the standard form. So this is already standard form. What we write only this equation in the standard form. And this equation is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. Now we solve equation number 2. This is solving equation number 2. So this is 90y plus 9x, which is equal to 20x plus 2y, and that is 20x minus 9x, this is 11x, and 2y minus 90y minus 88y is equal to 0. So we take common 11 or dividing 11 both sides, x minus 8y is equal to 0. This is equation number 2. Now we write these two equations in close way. So x plus y is equal to 9 and x minus 8y is equal to 0. This is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2 and this is equation number 2. Now we solve it by elimination method. And we see here the coefficient of x in equation number 1 and coefficient of x in equation number 2 are same. So we solve it by only changes the sign. Negative, positive, negative. X and x is cancelled out. Y plus 8y. 9y is equal to 9. Therefore y equal to 1. Now put y equal to 1 in any one of these two equations. So put y equal to 1 in equation number first. Therefore x plus 1 is equal to 9. Therefore x equal to 8. So the required two-digit number, is, and required two-digit number is equal to this much 10y plus x. So this is 10 and what is y is 1 plus x is 8. So required two-digit number is 18. This is your final answer. And we check our condition. First of all, we check this is its unit digits and this is its tenth digit. And when we add these two digits 1 plus 8 which is 9. Because first condition is the sum of digit of two-digit number is 9. And 1 plus 8 when we check which is equal to 9. And second condition is 9 times this number is twice of the number by reversing the order of the digit. So secondly we check 9 times this number. 9 multiplied by 18 is equal to twice of reversing the order of digit of this number. And when we multiply it by 9 into 18 we get 162. And when we multiply 2 by 81 then this is also 162. So by verification we checked out this is the right answer. The fourth part of second question is Meena went to withdraw rupees 2000. She asked the cashier to give her rupees 50 and rupees 100 note only. Meena got 25 notes in total. Then find out how many notes of rupees 50 and how many notes of rupees 100 she got. So in this question, Meena gave the bank and said to the cashier, I have need to note only 50 and 100. So first of all, we get suppose the note of hundreds. The note of rupees 50 is equal to x and the notes of rupees 100 is equal to y. And then Meena withdraw rupees 2000. She asked the cashier to give her rupees 50 and rupees 100 note only. Meena got 25 notes in total. Find out how many notes of rupees 50 and rupees 100 Meena got. So therefore, in this question it is given Meena got 25 notes total. Therefore, x plus y is equal to 25. And second condition is Meena went to bank to withdraw rupees 2000. Therefore, 50x plus 100y is equal to 2000. Because Meena received only notes of 50 and 100 and he received rupees 2000 by the notes of 50 and 100. Therefore 50x plus 100y because the total number of notes of 50 is multiplied by 50 and total number of notes multiplied with 100 and the total amount is 2000. So this is the first question and this is the second question. Now we solve these two equations by elimination method. And this is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. Now equation number 2 can be made easily by dividing both sides by 50. So dividing both sides by 50. And by dividing both sides by 50 we get x plus 2y and this is 40. And this is also said to be equation number second. Now we solve equation first and second by using elimination method. And in this method we see the terms of x are same. Therefore, they will be solved only by changing the sign of a second term. So x and x is cancelled out, plus by minus 2y is equal to minus y. 25 minus 40 is minus 50. Therefore, y equal to 50. Now put y equal to 50 in any one of these two equations. So we put in first. Therefore, x plus 15 is equal to 25. Therefore, x is equal to 25 minus 15 equal to 10. So we can say that Meena got the notes of rupees 50. Rupees 50 is equal to x is equal to 10, and Meena got the notes of rupees 100. And we assume the note of rupees 100 equal to y, and y is 50. And we check also our answer by putting the value of x and y in equation number 2. Let me check 10 and 15. When we adding 10 and 15, so this is 25, and it is given Meena got 25 note in total. So Meena has 10 notes of 50 and 50 notes of 100, and we calculate it easily. When Meena have 10 notes of 50, then 50 multiplied by 10, 500, and Meena has 100 notes of 50, and then Meena has rupees 1500. And when we added 500 and 1500, we get 2000. So the statement is true, and verification its answer is also true. So this is the right answer. And the last part of this exercise, a lending library has a fixed charge for the first 3 days and additional charge for each day. Therefore, Sarita paid rupees 27 for a book kept for 7 days. What Ruby paid rupees 21 for the book kept for 5 days. Find the fixed charge and as well as charge for each extra day, means each per day. And this question is like same taxi which we solved in the previous exercise 3.3. So in this question, first of all, we assume the fixed charge of library and charge per day of the library. So to solve this question, first of all, we suppose fixed charge of library. Suppose fixed charge of library is equal to rupees x, and fixed charge and charge per day, and charge per day is equal to rupees y. Therefore, according to conditions, and here the first condition is a lending library has a fixed charge, and we assume fixed charge is x, okay, and the first fixed charge for first 3 days and additional charge for each day. Therefore, Sarita paid rupees 27 for a book kept for 7 days. So when Sarita paid rupees 27 after keeping the books in 7 days, so the condition is x, and x is charged from 3 days. This charge is charged, fixed charge is charged for 3 days. And when Sarita kept the book for 7 days, so then the charge per day y. Therefore, the charge of 4 days. Charge of 4 days is 4y. X plus 4y is equal to 27. It is clear for our students, because it is given a lending library has a fixed charge for the first 3 days, and we assume the fixed charge for the 3 days is x, and the additional charge for per day is rupees y, And when Sarita kept a book for 7 days, then it can be written x plus 4y, because this is x is charge of fixed charge for 3 days and another 4 days. When charge of per day is y, then another 4 days the charge is 4y. Therefore, x plus 4y is equal to 27. And the second condition is, and the second is given this much. What Ruby paid rupees 21 for the book kept for 5 days. And when Ruby kept this book for 5 days, then he paid the charge rupees 21. Therefore, for 5 days, in x the 3 days, in x the charge for 3 days, and additional 2 days the charge is 2y, because charge per day is rupees y. Therefore, additional 2 days the charge is 2y, and which is equal to 21. Now we solve these two equations by elimination method. So in this question we see also the coefficient of x are same. So we solve it by only change the sign of second equation. So 4y minus 2y, 2y, 27 minus 21 is 6. Therefore y equal to 3. Now put y equal to 3 in any one of these two equations. Put y equal to 3 in equation number 1. Therefore x plus 4y is equal to 27 and the value y is 3. This implies x plus 1 is equal to 27. Therefore x is equal to 27 minus 12, and 27 minus 12 is 50. Therefore charge, fixed charge, therefore fixed charge of library. Therefore, fixed charge of library is equal to rupees x, and that is rupees 50. And charge per day, and charge per day is equal to rupees 5, and which is equal to rupees 3.